Happy New Year?
Happy New Year.
Maybe. Unless your habits change, you won't have a new year. All you'll get is another year. Well, there was giggling up here, right? Unless your habits change, you won't get a new year. All you'll get is another year. Think about that for a moment. Unless your habits change, you won't get a new year. All you'll get is another year. And so this evening, we have some choices to make. And the scriptures beautifully give us some spiritual habits that we can work on so that we can be new ourselves and strengthen and renew our families and our relationships. Go to the first reading. Think about all the judgments we apply to people. Yes? Can you imagine in the first reading, if the first thought we had about everyone we met, may the Lord bless them and keep them. May God's grace shine graciously upon them and give them peace. Whoa, that would sound different, yes? Or go to the second reading. Think about when something goes on, right? And think of all the words that fly off our lips. Most of which we can't use in church, amen? And imagine if the first words that came out were things like Abba, Father, which would call us to turn to the Lord for the grace, the wisdom, and often the patience we would need at any given moment. Or go to the gospel. The shepherds had quite the experience, didn't they? Can you imagine how they could have chatted it up and all the gossip they could have brought back to their town? And what do? They only proclaimed the good news of God's graciousness and God's goodness. 3 simple habits that can make us different and can make our homes, our relationships, our workplaces, even our classrooms different. Rather than judging, may the first thought always be, may the Lord bless you and keep you. May his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. Instead of all the expletives that we could utter out, we turn and we could even shout it out, Abba, Father, turning to the Lord for the grace and the wisdom that we need. And think of all the chatter, we'll call it chatter, right? That the shepherds could have chattered about. And all they did was talk about the praise and the goodness of God. Unless our habits change, we won't have a new year. All we'll get is another year. And so, like Mary, how do we take some time this evening to reflect on all these things in our heart and pray for the grace to have new habits, better habits, habits of the Lord, so that we can be new and use another day and, God willing, a new year to refresh and to renew our relationships at home, at school, at work, and everywhere. Amen?